A rice cooker in a microwave? Is that really such a thing? Hi, I'm Philly, and I like to test out different products in the kitchen and let you know if they are worth your money and if it's something I would use or I'm like, I probably should have gotten that and maybe I need to return it. Today we're going to be looking at this rice cooker from Joseph, and it is one that is a little different than your traditional one in that it works in the microwave. Now, I'm not opposed to a traditional rice cooker. In fact, my youngest, Matt, swears by him, and his roommates first got him onto them in college and he loves it. But in my small space here in the city, my cupboards are a commodity, and so rent is really high in all these spaces, and I really have to think, do I really need it? Can I use it? Is it worth the space that it'll need for me to store it? And one of the things I liked about this rice cooker versus a normal one is the size. Now, I also have no problem cooking rice the traditional way in a pot, and it works well for me. But I do like the idea of the rice cooker in the microwave. First of all, it frees up space if I'm, depending on what I'm cooking, on my stove. Also, in the summer months when it gets warm, especially warm in the city, here in my condo, it'll also be less heat going on in my kitchen if I'm using the microwave. So we are going to give this a try. So when you open the box, you will have these items inside. There's a little instruction manual, and out comes your rice cooker. And it's actually quite clever. I was instantly impressed with the design of it. So in the design, you have, let me bring it over here, the lid, and you can see these notches. You turn, and then this spatula, spoon comes out, and then the lid can come off. And inside, you have a measuring cup, plus a strainer that has holes, has holes on the bottom there. And those are all your materials. And one of the things I loved about this is that everything can stay in it and take up a pretty small amount of space, all things considered. I also like the fact that it could make a decent amount of rice. Usually it's just me cooking for myself and my husband because we're empty nesters. But if I was cooking for a few more people, there would be some room as well. I was also thinking it might be a great place to cook sushi rice. So on my first time using it today, I'm not going to do sushi rice. I'll try that later. But I am going to try just one of the more normal rice that I cook, and that is jasmine rice. So let's get started. One of the things I liked in the pamphlet is it gives you all the directions for a variety of servings with a variety of different rice types, and includes, I think it was like an oatmeal porridge or something or other in there too. So they do give a lot of options. It does not have sushi rice on here, so that will be something I'll need to experiment on my own. But there were a lot of different varieties that were here. So for jasmine rice, what it recommended for, I think it was 3 servings, was a cup of jasmine rice. And then you're going to rinse it. And it comes with this measure. And this measure also has both standard measurements and metric as well. So the first thing it does say to do is rinse your rice. So I'm going to just, in my sink here, give it a quick rinse. After you rinse your rice, it wants you to put it back into the main container. So I'm going to put this in here. And then it wants you to add, for 1 cup of rice, of jasmine rice, 400 milliliters of water. And again, these measurements are all in this little packet, so super handy. Then all it says is to put it into the microwave for 12 to 14 minutes, letting it stand for 5 minutes. I kind of feel like I need to give it a little stir, so I'm just giving a little stir. It does not say to do this. I'm just feeling that. But anywho, you put the lid on, and then you want to make sure and put the spoon on so it'll enable the lid to stay on. The one thing it did say to make sure that you didn't want to cover up the holes, so, but they are covering up. It says don't cover the holes, but they do cover up the holes. Wait, let me see. Oh, I see. So you want to make sure you rotate the lid so that when you put on the spoon, the holes stay open. Oh my goodness. See, you too can make rice in the microwave. But you do have to think about that because when I first put this lid on, it just happened to be lined up so that the spoon would completely cover up the holes. So you do want to watch it. So I'm kind of glad that this happened because otherwise you could have made the mistake as well. So now I do have it in fashioned so that the steam holes are open, the spoon has it secure, and we're going to put it in the microwave for 12 to 14 minutes. Now I'm a little worried about the whole 12 to 14 thing. I don't love ranges. I'll do 13 minutes and let's do it in the middle and see how it is. I know a lot of those can be due to microwaves and inconsistency between models. So I usually shoot for the middle anyway. So let's fingers crossed that that works for this. So 13 minutes, it's going to go in. It's on my microwave specifically. I can't set it for more than 10 minutes at a time. So I'm going to get it set for that, and then I will add 3 more minutes after the 10 minutes are done. Let's start. It is steamy in there, so let me give it 3 more minutes. And see how steamy? I don't know if you can tell that, but my microwave is super steamy. So I'm a little worried what's going on there, not gonna lie, and it smells of rice right now. So hopefully nothing is boiling over, but I guess we'll just wait and see. So see you in 3 minutes. Okay, here we go. 13 minutes. Let's open this and I'm gonna show you the facial I can probably get now. Look at all the steam. In fact, the steam is going up there. See the steam? Oh my goodness. It's going up to my cabinets. Yeah, it was a hot sauna in there. Actually, not a hot sauna, a steam bath, because sauna would be dry. All right, so now it says I need to take this out of the microwave and sit for 5 minutes. So let's get the timer going. Get it up here, just get going for 5 minutes in the steam bath. So at least we have that time going, and I'm gonna wipe this because it is moist there. Now let me see if this is warm. I'm trying to see if, oh yeah, it's kind of warm. It's not as hot as like a pan, but it's kind of warm. And I got some funky stuff on the lid. Alrighty, so I'm gonna pull this out and we can take a look at it while we're waiting for the rice to finish. Ew, it is just interesting on top. Got lots of, I guess, starchy steam or water that was up there. I'll bring you all over so you can see it, but let me just wipe this up a little bit. It didn't seem to boil over, but there's just a lot of moisture that was in there. I'm just gonna wipe that off, turn that off, and let's bring you over so you can see what's going on this lid while we wait for the rice to finish. See that? Look at that. That's kind of like gooky. I guess it's just from water or steam coming up and then depositing on the lid. I mean, that'll be easy to come off. I just think it's really interesting. And while, again, this is not as hot as a pan, it is still warm. So I would definitely use some sort of oven mitts of some sort to protect your hands. So when 5 minutes is up, we're gonna open this puppy up and see how the rice. Okay, the 5 minutes is up, so let's dig in. And again, they do recommend taking it out of the microwave for the 5 minutes of standing time. The funny part is that it does talk about serving this like right from here to the table, and I'm like, no, but you definitely need to rinse this stuff off because like this kind of just looks a little gross. I mean, I'm just gonna rinse it off, and the lid, even worse. So let me get this rinsed off first because I'm gonna use this to kind of fluff the rice, so to speak. So let me give that a good rinse. And then let's open for the big reveal and see how our rice cooker did. And of course, the taste test at the end will be the true measure. All right, let's take a peek. Oh, it's definitely steamy. Look at all that stuff. Very, very yucky. All right, so there is our rice. Meanwhile, I still have all this stuff sticking to my fingers. I think we'll just call them starch flakes. And now I'm going to take my spatula and fluff my rice. It looks like it might be cooked. Taste for sure, but let's take a look. It's very warm. Look at the grains. Oh, got a little steamage there. Okay, let me finish fluffing it. There we go. All right, so let's give it a taste. Let me take these starch flakes from this lid and let's go put that in the sink. Oh my goodness. I have a fork to give it a try. I'm not gonna put any seasoning on, I just wanna see, I'm looking to see if the rice is cooked. It is fluffy. It does seem to be pretty separate. It's perfectly cooked. Wow. So I cannot measure, since I've never had a rice cooker, I can't measure as far as how the separate grains are, but it is fluffy. It is perfectly cooked. I mean, you could try it at 12 minutes in my microwave just to see, but 13, it doesn't feel overcooked. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. Pretty easy, and if you don't use everything, you can always put this with the lid on in the refrigerator. By the way, I did notice in the box while it was cooking that besides the oats, it does say that it also can cook quinoa and couscous. So I thought that was interesting. So yeah, so on first, on first light, I will say that I think this is an interesting product, and I'll be anxious to see if I use it, if I pull it more commonly than I pull my pot that I usually cook my rice in. Certainly, this wouldn't be any more difficult to clean up. Speaking of which, I did not see whether this is dishwasher safe. We are not a use your dishwasher everyday kind of person. Yeah, dishwasher safe. It is dishwasher safe. So you could put this in the dishwasher to get clean. So Joseph microwave rice grain cooker. It gives a thumbs up for me. I think this is a great little way to make rice cooking easier and more approachable, especially if you're new to cooking. But even for me, someone that has cooked rice for a long time, I'm gonna give this a try. I think this might be a good addition to my kitchen. Thanks so much for watching. And if you like content like this, please be sure to like and subscribe and share this with anyone you think might be interested. And if there's any products you would like to see me try, be sure to put it in the comments below. I like to know what my watchers are interested in.